Hey guys, one of the most common questions we get asked in comments and in messages is if somebody's coming here to Japan, how much Japanese are they going to need? It will depend on what you're going to be doing when you're here, of course, but just to give you some examples, at one end of the extreme, there are people who come to Japan for a holiday, who come as part of a group and tour around as part of a group with some people who can speak English and Japanese. Obviously, those people can probably get by, or if you've got someone with you who can speak both languages, those people can probably get by with no Japanese at all. There's also some people who come to work for some of the bigger English schools who look after their teachers, and different English schools treat teachers in different ways, but some of the big English schools will collect the teachers from the airport and take them to some apartment building that belongs to the company and is full of other foreigners. And I've actually met people that have lived like this in Japan. They've been collected from the airport by the English school, they've been taken to the apartment building. The people on one side of them will be Americans, the people on the other side will be from Australia, and people downstairs will be New Zealanders, and the other people will be from Africa, or, you know, apartment building full of foreigners. They'll spend their working hours at work speaking English, and most of the English schools, the rule is you're not allowed to speak Japanese, so that's no problem. And then their free time they'll spend with the other foreigners doing stuff. So it's quite possible to come here and live like that and speak no Japanese, and people do it. People do it. Spend, you know, a whole heap of time here and then go back. So that's at one end of the extreme. You've got those two different groups of people that can come to Japan and don't speak Japanese at all. Depending on what you're going to be doing here, of course, though, at the other end of the extreme, if you come to Japan and you're not in a big city working for a big English speaking company, it can be really, really difficult. Or if you're intending to come to Japan and travel around on your own without being able to speak Japanese, I mean, of course it's possible. Of course it's possible, but really difficult. Really difficult to be able to travel around Japan and organise transport and check train schedules and buses and you know, to order food and go to restaurants and do all the stuff that you need to do. You know, even if you're just here for a couple of weeks, to be able to get yourself around without any Japanese at all, or without a reasonable amount of Japanese, would be really difficult. Reading and writing Japanese, you know, pretty important for most of the things that you do. So yes, quite difficult. For people that are coming here for a period of time, like to live here, you've basically got two choices. You really need to be able to read and write and speak and understand Japanese really well, or you need some people in your life that you need to rely on really heavily, and that can be difficult in itself. You know, to have a friend or have somebody here that can speak both languages that you have to rely on to do everything. Because if you stop and think about it, whatever country you're living in now, if everything is in Japanese, which it usually is here, just imagine in your normal life, if everything was in Japanese, how would you go? So, you know, the mail turns up, the post comes, ping pong, here's the mail's turned up in the letterbox. You know, can you read it? What is it? Where's it from? What's it about? You know, just the day-to-day, answering the mail, answering the phone, organising the day-to-day stuff in our lives that we have to organise. You know, going to the dentist, going to the doctor, going to the bank, going to the post office. You know, going shopping. Shopping's not too bad here. You know, you can sort of get by. But even then, you've got your mysteries. You know, even then, it's easy. You know, if you can't read any Japanese, it's easy to confuse the butter for the cheese, thinking you've just bought half a kilo of cheese, and you come home and find you've got half a kilo of butter. Or, you know, milk containers, milk cartons that, you know, or fruit juice cartons that look like milk cartons, or you know, it's it's pretty serious, guys. And to be honest, at first that's fun. At first, coming here and having everything in Japanese is sort of fun. It's sort of an adventure, you know, trying to sort of break the code, you know, find out what's happening, you know, understanding what's going on around you. It's sort of fun. It's sort of interesting at first, but you know, if you're here for a long time, it can get difficult. It can be difficult, and it doesn't matter how good your Japanese is. You will reach your level of competence, and by that I mean some people that come here, you know, speak and understand Japanese really well, can read and write really well. You know, that's great, but you will find your level of competence at some point. You know, for those people that live here that their Japanese is really, really good, well, you know, there'll be some time where they need to do some tax stuff with an accountant, or they'll go to the dentist and they'll have some dentist thing going on, the dentist explaining to them what he's going to do, or the doctor, or, you know, at some stage you will strike your limit of your competence with your language. So yeah, it's a difficult one, guys. It is a difficult one. It's just something you have to be aware of. Japan is, the honest truth is that Japan's not real English friendly. I mean, I know going to Europe was easier. You know, you can go to Europe and travel around Europe with only English without too much trouble. In fact, there's many countries in Asia that you can go to and travel around and use only English, and you know, it's okay. So I think Japan's a little unique. I'm not sure there's many other countries like Japan where you can't rely on your English here. It doesn't work. I mean, you know, there is some places in the big cities where you can find English. It exists. It exists throughout Japan. There are English-friendly businesses and English-friendly organisations throughout Japan, but finding them is very, very difficult, if not impossible, most of the time. You know, and even places I've been to five-star hotels here. You know, the Marriott. I've been to the Marriott. I've been to lots of five-star hotels here in Japan, and walk in and say hello, and they say, konnichiwa, how isemase. You know, and so even places here where you'd expect English, you won't get it. So, you know, it's important to be aware of that. So if you've travelled to Europe, or you've travelled to other places in Asia, or travelled to other countries, and you found that, you know, you could get by with your English, I guarantee you it's not like that here. English does exist, like I said. English companies do exist. English-friendly organisations exist. Hotels, restaurants, dentists, doctors. There is English-friendly places in Japan, but finding them is really difficult. And on that subject, just as a final thing, I'll just tell you, stay tuned, because we want to try and contribute to this. This has been a big issue for a lot of people that I've spoken to in Japan, and we want to do something positive about it. So we actually do have something quite worthwhile, a new playlist on this topic coming soon that will help a lot of people, I hope. So stay tuned for that. More videos coming soon.